Good morning. It's cold in here and I look a little ragged, so I thought wigs are warm. I took my pulse rate even. Pulse rate, PR, yeah. I don't feel so good this morning. Oh well. So last night I know Maggie loves to go out and doesn't get many opportunities to, and Bonnie loves to go out too, so I said, you girls go out, I'll watch Finn. Wow, Finn was a great little boy, so good, but he would not go to sleep, and I'm like 10:30, I need to be, and he wanted his mama. Where's mama? I said, Mama went out with Bonnie. They're just out having a fun time. Where's Dada? He's working Uber, driving the Chrysler van around. 5 minutes later, where's Mama? So after about the 100th time he asked me, I changed my story. I said, they're working. How? He says. I says, well, Dada's working driving Uber in the van, and Mama's working at having fun. When will they be home? Soon. I don't think he'll be doing a sleepover at Aya's house alone because I'm Aya. Because he's not ready. He would be heartbroken and unable to sleep. And that's what happened last night. He was lonesome for them. He needed one of them to be there when he went to sleep, so he would not go to sleep. So sometime after 12:30 a.m., and then I get home and I can't sleep. I'm all like, so I started watching YouTube videos. Free entertainment, right? I was looking at trying to get more. I mean, believe me, I have watched every van life video there is. It started in 2014. Dennis and I were looking for alternative retirements, right? Alternative living ideas. You know, there was so many. We started talking about going overseas so that we could retire earlier. Now, I don't have any lights on in here at all, and I'm still seeing surges, okay? Though Bonnie told me that my lights definitely surge, and that makes me very nervous because I know that guy next door lost his entire line from the box to the house. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. So I was, looking at videos in 2014 in my lovely little office. I had that beautiful home in Dover, Foxcroft, Maine. Would I want it today? No. It was cold as the Arctic, that house. That's why when the October winds or November winds blew that year, 2016, and Dennis was freezing, I said, we'll go stay with the kids. Let's go to Florida. They had a house at the time. Big house. I had my own bedroom, and Dennis was right across the hall. He had his own bedroom. There was a bathroom between us. It needed remodeling. It needed a lot of work, but it was doable and comfortable. And I kept our rooms, the bathroom clean. I, did everything I could. Make him comfortable. And, by that time it was really too late to look at alternative lifestyles. He was very sick, but in 2014 through 2016, I was heavily looking, and we'd started writing down names of countries we wanted to look into, and so I would research them. there was an area in Chile that we were thinking about, not quite to the Patagonia, if I remember correctly. It was a little German town, founded a long time ago. The Germans went there, and it just sounded delightful. 40 degrees was as cold as it generally got. And so that was one of the areas we were thinking about. And then as I was scrolling 2014, I found, I was searching things about, I was thinking, what about, living in a motorhome for a while, and just, I love the United States. I love the West. I love everything, I mean, even Iowa has a strange beauty of just flat land, but when all that grain is growing up, it's quite lovely. There's just wonderful history of our nation and the people who tamed it, came across the plains and lived in dugouts. And I love Little House on the Prairie. Oh my gosh, while Dennis was sick, I was listening to that over and over again, all of the audiobooks for the Little House series. Then I would look up about each family member and get their history. But to get back on subject, which I'm notorious for, veering left, I saw Without Bound, the documentary with Bob Wells and Randy Vining and a few other of pretty much the beginnings of the movement. When we did it, it was called homelessness. Back in the 90s. We were travelers for about 14 years. And, if we could find a cheap rental, a furnished rental, we'd take it. I was thinking about this one really awful man. He was trying to sell the house in Rochester, New Hampshire. It was a mess. There was a mouse infestation. There was mouse poop everywhere, in the fridge, everywhere. He rented it to us for a cheap price, and he was paying me to clean it, and then he sold it out from under us and didn't want to pay me. The only reason it sold is because I had, gone through that place and it was immaculate. And then it sold. And so I made some demands. And he didn't want to fulfill them. So I said, remember in the contract, the holes in the walls? I said to him on the phone, there's going to be a lot more holes if you don't get your ass over here with my money. That's how I am. He came with his sons and cameras to make sure I hadn't damaged it, and he gave me my money, and I gave him his place in beautiful condition, and he sold it. But it was such hard work. I worked weeks getting the place ready for us, and then we had found furniture on the side of the road. It was big garbage pickup for the spring. We found found this great old 50s dining set, the old aluminum with the Formica top, and it was gorgeous. Sold that. Took it to the show with us. The road was kinder to us than any landlord ever was. And the adventure was always there, the things we saw, the things we did. So many wonderful, wonderful memories. Alternative living, alternative lifestyles. Is there the perfect life for a widow in her 60s? I don't want to rely on my kids. And I don't want to ever rely on anyone else but me. And it's hard because of my problems with my health, you know. I just, you know, I get some comments sometimes, and I'm not offended by them. They make sense. Well, you know, you have bad back. How can you this and how can you that? You learn. You know, my daughter Rachel's the same way. You learn to create a system. My system is I will take an area and I will vacuum it. Maybe a few days later, I'll go to the next area and I'll vacuum it. And that's why sometimes things get out of hand, because I can have like a 2 or 3 week period where I'm not able to even lift that vacuum cleaner or push it without going into spasm. And so things have to wait. You know, how are you going to do the shows? I don't know. I don't know. At Brimfield, students come by and they ask, do you need help? And you know what I would say? Yeah, get on it. And you pay them. They tell you what they want. It might be 15, 20 an hour, but it's only going to take an hour for 2 kids to, you know, so you give them each 20 bucks. Maybe you'll gratis them 25 each. And then you say to them, hey, can you be here Sunday? Help me load this back up. You know, they put up the tent, they'll put up the tables, they'll put out the stuff on the tables, and then you get to work. And some shows give you like a day ahead, so you can go in early and just take your time and unload each box. I gotta be honest, Maggie did most of the work at Renninger's. Somehow I have to find a way to repack my stuff so they're in small cardboard boxes that I can lift. Getting a dealer in here, a dealer is going to want all the stuff for nothing. That's just the way it goes. It's the nature of the beast. An auctioneer. Do you remember the Antique Roadshow, Ken Farmer? Before he was a bigwig, we took our stuff to him in Virginia. He told us he was going to put it in a nice Sunday auction with a lot of other antique furniture, because we had gorgeous 1800s china. Oh God, we had everything. My husband was the picker deluxe. Everything you could imagine in brass and bronze and wood. A load that should have brought us about $15,000 brought us under $2,000. And I cried because he changed that auction. He changed that auction to a Thursday night with a bunch of junk and office furniture. And we watched his pickers take our stuff for $1 a piece. No, No auctions. I did very well with my guns with Houston Brooks up in Maine. If I were ever gonna, but she told me about paper. At that time, she says, I'm letting boxes go for nothing. She says, don't put paper in here. And I didn't. No, if I want to get the most money I can out of this stuff, and even then, I was letting things go that I should have gotten 200 for $50. I know my stuff. I look it up. When I find something unusual, I call a dealer who deals only in that. And they say, I don't want it, but you should get this amount for it at the least. But it doesn't work that way, especially when the show is dead and there's not enough people. It happens. I don't even know what the spring Brimfield would be like. And I'm so not feeling well right now. If I had my own eBay account, I could get that stuff out. I could list every day and sell it for better than, with all this expense of a show. It's really tough what to do. I'm pretty distraught about it. I'm pretty distraught. But I'm going to find an answer. Webster, Florida, please. It's a picker's market. It is not a seller's market. I was going there and I was giving our jewelry away for peanuts. I'd have to go to the silver guy and turn in stuff for scrap just so I could get some money. No, I need some good shows. There is that covered bridge show. Where is it? Up north somewhere. I'm going to ask Mike about that. He did very well there. It's like a 10-day show. Now that's where I should be. Maybe I could get a spot. I think it's in the fall or August or something. I need to find out about that. And then I think there's Friendship, Indiana, and then there's that 500-mile yard sale, but I don't know how dealers do there. I think the picking is fantastic from what I hear. I always liked Brimfield, but it's fast and furious. You've got to be fast and hard. And I'm not. I'm not fast enough to get that stuff out. And I'm not organized enough. Your stuff should be in those sheets, and then those, they're plasticky, but they're, acid free. The problem is that outdoors it starts sweating. You can ruin your paper. So I've never been a paper dealer. The way Dennis did it, he'd put a box lot out and he'd sell it for whatever. He never looked up anything. That's why we ended up the way I am. He bought and he sold and he bought and he sold and he made the prices up in his mind, and we lost a lot of money over the years. It's a sorrowful morning for me. I'm just sad. I'm going to bounce out of it, I promise. But right now, my focus is on troubleshooting this problem, finding a solution, and finding it as fast as I can. I want this stuff gone by the end of this year at the very, very latest. There's still hope because it's spring. Now, there's a couple of old vans I could go have a look at. I definitely would take them to a mechanic and see what I'm getting myself into. But even if I bought a $4,000 van and it at least got me to the shows I wanted to get to, it would have been worth the $4,000. Where will I get that? From selling my car. I'm so fed up with the system. I don't want to be part of the system. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's a miserable Sunday morning video, but I'm stressed. I am so stressed. I can't leave that paper out there forever. Books are being destroyed. Things I could have gotten money for are being ruined by mold and mildew and the elements. Yeah, they're undercover, but this is Florida. My damn bamboo clothing rack is covered in black mildew all over it from putting wet clothes on to dry. I don't know if I want to stay in Florida, especially permanently. I'm not so sure this is where I belong. And the freedom of being on the road would give me a chance to look, to go see some places, to see what would agree with me best as far as weather goes. And if I had cash in hand from selling the trailer and selling the car, if I was careful what I bought for a vehicle, that's the crows. I'm not going out there with a pan and a spoon. It ain't happening. But anyway, that's it. Me and my wig. Me and all my paper. Good morning.